What's up, everybody? My name is Eddie on my YouTube channel Eddie Fix It, and today I am going to be installing a kitchen cabinet right here on this wall. But first, we need to use a stud finder to find the stud so we have something to screw into. All right, let's find this stud. So with this particular stud finder, if you tap the button twice, it'll do what they call a deep scan, which basically penetrates a little bit further into the drywall so you can find the stud a little bit easier. And with this, because it has so much spackle on this wall, it makes it a lot easier to find that stud. So basically take your stud finder, put it up on the wall like this. That's one is just regular stud scan. Push it twice, it's a deep scan. I slide it across the wall until right there. Gives a little arrow. Notch out right there. Let's do the same thing on the other side. After I got these studs all marked up, now it's time to hang the actual cabinet. I called in for an assist from my beautiful bride, and she was more than willing to help me out. So make sure whenever you're hanging these cabinets that you line everything up just right. A level can help you out, and just to make sure that your gap isn't off. Also, when you're marking your studs, make sure you put them marked pretty high up on the wall so that you can see it behind the cabinet before you install it. Now it's time to screw this thing in. If you do this just right, you should hit that stud first time every time. If you want to double check your work, you can take that top screw that you know hit the stud and measure it. Then on the bottom one, you just put it the same measurement. Once you get rolling, it shouldn't take that long to put all 4 screws into this cabinet and secure it to the wall. Might have a little bit of sawdust in there, so a quick vacuum will clean that right up. Then you want to put your shelves back in. I'm able to do this so quickly because we already had it predetermined on where we wanted our shelves to be at, so it pops right in. Next up, time to put those doors on. So typically whenever you get cabinets like this, they have a pre-drilled hole. So it makes it nice and easy to get that door hinge on there. Just line up the hole with the screw and screw it in. Then you just rinse and repeat until you get all 3 hinges screwed on. I just do the exact same thing on the other side. Up next is my kryptonite, the crown molding. I am not a fan of putting crown molding up. I love the way it looks. I just don't like putting it up. So I always seem to get things wrong with it. I double check, triple check. It's kind of pain in my butt to put in, but it's worth it in the end, the way it looks. So I suck it up and push on. But first up, after you do your cuts, you line everything up just to make sure it's going to fit before you secure it to your cabinets. And a simple pin nailer is all you need really to secure this thing to the top of your cabinet. Before you actually put the nails in there, make sure everything is level. Because if it's not, you may start kicking yourself later on. It doesn't take much to secure these things to the cabinets. A few pin nails in each and you'll be good to go. I did make a separate video on how to cut crown molding because it's totally different than anything you've probably done before. So go ahead and check that out on my channel. After you're all done, do a quick cleanup. Make sure you don't leave anything on top of the cabinets, which I have done before in the past and find it years later. And we'll move on to the next thing. Next thing is the handles. So you can get one of these jigs to drill the holes for your cabinet poles. It is super easy to use. You just line it up on the bottom of this cabinet, mark your holes, and you drill your holes. I made another video on this also on my YouTube channel if you want to go ahead and check it out. It shows you in depth on how to use that template as well as another one for your kitchen drawers. Once you mark your holes, it's as simple as drilling them out. Now be careful and ensure that you keep your drill level while you're drilling these holes, or else you're going to have an issue getting the screws in the actual pole handles themselves. Take it from my either bad luck or inexperience, but I have done that before and it is pretty rough trying to get it fixed without causing too much damage. All right, now that these holes are drilled, it's time to install these cabinet poles. Now, like I said before, when these screws are going in, you have to make sure that they are very straight going into the back of these poles, or else they're going to cross thread and it's going to be very difficult to get them out. These particular types of poles, where your screw goes into them, they tend to get loose also, especially if you cross thread and you're trying to get that screw out, which is exactly what happened to me right here. So you have to go out and you got to get a pair of pliers and preferably either a cloth or a paper towel, something to wrap around that round area, just so you don't scratch up your brand new poles. So basically just wrap the cloth around there, grab it with the pliers, and then you can unscrew the screw from the back. I ruined a couple of poles before I learned that trick, so take it from my inexperience or whatever you want to call it. Basically, my loss is your gain. Now all I gotta do is just tighten this pole back up, put that paper towel back up on there, tighten it up, make sure it's in there nice and secure, and then I can re-secure it to this cabinet door. This time I make sure the screw is super straight, make sure it goes in there straight so I don't cross thread, and it goes right in. Once you get your poles on, you're pretty much done. I use multiple different tools in this video. I'll be sure to list all of them in the description below. And also I'll be sure to put a link next to each one of them in case you want to get a set for yourself for your own DIY projects. Also, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button on this video for more do-it-yourself tips here on the Eddie Fix It channel.